ambitious visions, but I would say it's very logical and very realistic. We all know Indonesia, more than 70% of its territory, wilayah Indonesia ini 71%-nya adalah lautan. Only 29% of Indonesia territory is land. The border with our neighbor, 99.7% is also ocean. Our land border with our neighbor is only in Kalimantan, that's from Pontianak lines to Tawau, and then Sepatik Island, Timor-Leste, and Papua. So the rest is all ocean. We had been 70 years being told Indonesia is a great agricultural country. It is true. We have very good and very lucky with the weather, with the geographic. We have enough rain, enough sun to flourish our agriculture. But the ocean is much bigger potential. The ocean is much wider. Indonesia is the second largest coastal line in the world, owner. So the first one is Canada. So we have 97,000 kilometers length of coastal. We should able to live and flourish our coastal fisheries since the beginning of our independence. But we had been busy to plant, to grow more rice, to grow more plantations, which in one hand we lost a lot of our rainforest. That's actually supporting the good, friendly environment agriculture. So, but anyway, I would like to talk more about our fisheries sector. So, I have been fisheries business for almost 30 years, from 1982, after I quit my high school. I had starting my seafood business, buying and selling from the fishermen to restaurant to lebaran sale. And then I, starting after years growing as an exporter, starting 96. And I had been 30 years almost running my seafood business. Finally, 96 we can export to Japan, to Europe, to the US. But year 2000, suddenly we have no fish anymore left. The quantity is getting small. There's no economy scale anymore to freeze them, to send them by containers to Europe or to US or even to Japan, because it's just no more the quantity, no more raw material. We all didn't know why. While on the same time with our depleting raw material, there are also many other companies that shut down because of lack of the raw material. 115 other companies are also shutting down on the same period of time. We didn't know why. Until I became appointed as Minister of Marine Affairs and Fisheries. I'm looking at the data for the first 2 weeks. I did not start anything, just learning what is in the department. I see regulation, I see the data. Surprising, on the same period of time, we lost almost 50% of our fisheries household. So even the fishermen are decreasing. Why? Because there is no more fish to catch. The depleting resources of our coastal fisheries is one of the reasons. But we didn't know why. But then I have one puzzle that's still big question until I was become minister 4 years ago. When I had starting the Susi year 2004, actually I was planning to move from big quantity and frozen product seafood on export to go into more higher value product of seafood that's live and fresh. And with lack of infrastructure in Indonesia, the only breakthrough is buying a plane, buying a small aircraft to transport. Because that's going to cut the distance of Indonesia very short. Like from my hometown in Pangandaran to Jakarta will be only an hour. But trying from 2000 to 2004 to convince a banker to buy me 2 little aircraft, it's almost big, impossible mission. Nobody believed that a lobster, a fish, shrimps, mortality rate could actually pay off the $2 million aircraft. So finally, after 4 years, I can convince a banker in Bank Mandiri to give me 2 aircraft. The aircraft arrived in November, tsunami happened in Aceh. So I thought I could go to help for a few months. I've flown the plane to Medan and start flying to Malabo. Flying for free for 2 months and then finish out the cash that I brought, so I have to go home. We've flown several NGOs in those 2 months, helping several evacuation of the people in Aceh. But then when I planned to leave, many NGOs hold it, please stay here with us. We will pay, we will rent your airplane. So since CNN was publishing on the news that they've flown to Malabo on the 29th of December with Susi Air, everybody is looking for Susi Air in the airport. So, well, that's the name of the new charter business, Susi Air. And while I do this Susi Air now growing from 2 aircraft to become 50 aircraft, servicing all commuter service in Indonesia, remote area, Papua, Kalimantan, Sumatra. We connect secondary city to remote area, we connect between secondary city to another secondary city. We did every day until today about 150 to 200 flights for the commuter service. And I saw a lot of big fishing vessels at the sea out there in the east part of Indonesia, in the central part of Indonesia, and also in the west-northern part of Indonesia. That was the puzzle I tried to crack when I became a minister. Seeing 115 company collapse between 2003 to 2013, and then seeing the fishermen household decrease almost 50% on the same period of time, 2003 to 2013, and then big ship around, so many out there. What's the connection? So, and I start to study also from several foreign literature, foreign article about illegal fishing. And then, okay, all puzzle is become one piece. We have now, that's a problem of Indonesia so far for maritime, especially fisheries. Capture fisheries, this was all illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing that had been very massive. And why it started between that year 2000 to 2013? 2001, Indonesian government, the Minister of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, start open concession to nationalize foreign vessels to have Indonesian convenience flag to fish in our water. So before it was really illegal, and then they have an opportunity to be legal. But this organization of illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing is a big business organization that's run transnational. So it's not only in Indonesia, it's all over the world. So they buy one license, but in fact when we start cracking down, we find out that one license the company buy, actually they have 10 or maybe even 20. The same color of boat, the same name of boat, the same size of boat. So they duplicate the boat. And so we have several discussions in the cabinet and also with my president. Of course, everything is all under his vision and his plan. So we decided that we have our constitution, that I think that was one of the best solution to crack down a bad practice that had been happening for decades in our Indonesian water. So we have Constitution number 45 year 2009 that we can punish to sink every single illegal fishing vessel that catch fish illegally in our water. And we start the campaign, and I start to call all the ambassadors from neighboring country. We have long 6 hours lunch together, and I try to explain I have a big job, and Excellency, you all understand I'm minister with the lowest education but the biggest portfolio, because 70% of Indonesia are in my hand. So I won't be able to deliver the works appropriately without assistance and help and support from all of you. So we understand there are many mismanagement, and it's not your mistake, it's not our mistake. We want just to make it good again, supporting the visions of a big nation which has to success, because the failure of Indonesia, no one, and not the world even, will able to handle it or accommodate the failure of Indonesia. We are too big to fail. I tried to explain, you remember Syria, the population is just 7 million. Problem in the country there, it's headache for Europe, also for other parts of the world. And this 260 million population nation, if they fail, and they all migrating to, example, just water to Singapore, Singapore will be sink. It's too many to accommodate. So everyone, I think, in this neighbor country has to support Indonesia to be strong, to have and control its sovereignty, and able to stand in their own feet. So please announce to your fishermen to stop catching the fish, put on the harbor or the boat, or home, the choice for you. The one that stay, we will do assessment, and we will see what is the policy next. So many are leaving, I think 700 are left. Suddenly within a week, all harbor in this part of Indonesia especially, having so many big 200, 300, 500 gross tonnage boat is coming to the port. Those never been seen. Governor from Maluku was telling me, Susi, I have served in port and never ever see any big boat at all. So they're all doing everything offshore. And well, we start the announcement also to our partner, our neighbor, that we have to start this. So the lunch was long hours, because I was thinking it's also not easy for them to hear that I will sing that they boat. So, but it goes very smoothly after all. The lunch done and everybody, yes, of course, Excellency, we will support you. Thank you. So, and the press conference waiting for them to hear and write their support. So, and finally, today we have done 488 vessels been sink in Indonesia water. The first few we make very, different event by blowing it. So put the dynamite on the palka, shooting the dynamite sounds and look very, very bad. And it's worked actually. So in the last, only I think 6 months, more than 10,000 foreign vessels going away from Indonesia water. More than 10,000. And what is come up on the fisheries sector, we are very happy. Finally, 2016, Kajiskan, that's Komisi Ikan Nasional, and Santa Barbara University, and our research and department doing research together to count the stock assessment we do every 2 years. So 2014 our stock was only 7.1 million tons, and finally year 2016 increased to 12.5 million tons. It's a big deposit. If you just count $1 a kilo, 6.5 million ton additional is $6.5 billion. That if you calculate the price of a kilogram of this dollar. And the export of fisheries product basically constant and increase of 11 to 12% in the last 4 years. For the first time, the PDB or GDP of fishery sector increased into above of national GDP. In average, in the first, I think 2015 was 7 point something. In average now the last was 6.7% increase, the GDP. So it's 20% above national GDP. Never been before. Before we always lower than national GDP. And export volume increased not that much, but the export value is increased more than before, more than 12%. The competitiveness index of fishing businesses is increased from 107 to 128. So 20% increased competitiveness. Very profitable business now, fishing in Indonesia water. Why? Because the fish is much more. The area to catch, the distance is closer, and the size of the fish is bigger. That's why the value is also bigger. So, while we're cracking down the illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, we realize also any more other hidden crimes that's actually using the vehicle of illegal fishing. Slavery in Benjina had been opening up. We helped more than 2,500 Myanmar, Laos people that had been kidnapped and worked for more than 20 years on boat without getting paid and even know where they can go home. And many other we also find crimes, smuggling. So they also use the empty tramper or refrigerated ship coming into Indonesia water, bring from cement, plywood, any other that can be sold in Indonesia, fruits. And some of them also bring in drugs, alcohol, and many other stuff. So illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing become a very profitable business for the people who are doing it, because coming back from Indonesia, they're not only taking fish, but also several endangered species animals, from birds, live birds, or turtle, of course dolphin, and many other manta ray, and many other several animals that's already in danger situations, already into the CITES. They take it. More endangered species it is, more expensive it is to sell. So it's in two ways, are both traded. So it's become very, very good way on doing business to make very good profit. And there are also some drugs coming in. We calculate in a week, in average, at least 3 to 5 tons drug are actually entering Indonesia, because that's the amount that is needed by the numbers of addicted people, almost I think 5.2 million now. So, and we crack down the illegal fishing in the same time is also bringing down the level of the other smuggling activity in Indonesia. And for the first time, we are very happy that GDP of Indonesia fisheries is #1 in Southeast Asia. And the purchase power of fisheries household is also increased from 104 to 112. So that means the fishermen having a better life, having much profit on doing their businesses. And of course, it's not all perfect. We still fight at the moment for destructive fishing. There are still many use of dynamite, of cyanide fishing, which is done by artisanal fisheries. So here we start campaigning for all of us to also start understanding that when the buying continue, the killing will continue. So Sunu, an example, the red grouper, are mainly catch by the cyanide fishing. Ikan Napoleon, the live ikan Napoleon become a very exclusive fish that served in many restaurants. Also in Hong Kong become one of the main prime fish to be eaten in very high-class restaurants because it's very expensive. But the way they catch all these fish is using a very unfriendly fishing method. So using the cyanide or using the dynamite, exploiting the reef, and they catch the live fish, which is 70% of it will be dead anyway. So we try here to campaign with the public, with the people. Other than what we have done in the fisheries, backing down IUU fishing, we also enforce the human rights compliances on fishing business and also fisheries businesses in Indonesia. We issued that with the minister regulation in December 2016. And other than that, to move into sustainable fishing management, so Pak Presiden say, Laut Masa Depan Bangsa. The future of the nation is in the ocean. It's only possible if we manage it sustainably. We have to avoid any kind of fishing extensively and disregarding of the sustainable yield that we could or we have able to harvest. It's time to start regulating. So we also issued 2 ministerial decrees, which is ban on transshipment. Second is ban on trawl. Why we ban on transshipment? Because transshipment is basically the way the illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing doing their businesses. So why we should allow transshipment? If we had all port, we have all custom, we have duana there. So mostly the transshipment is done is for normally illegal activity. So I tried to propose this to more countries to do the same thing. Because if not, the illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing will be continued. And from what we have experienced, which I would like also to share more to the international institution, that illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing is a real transnational organized crime. So it's done by several states, in several state territory, and also using several nations as the crew of the vessel. The last vessel we caught in Natuna area was STS-50, an example. They have 8 flags of convenience in their vessel. So 8 flags from different countries. So basically, regarding the international regulation, when a vessel has 2 flags, it's named as a stateless vessel. So, but that's what happened with all these vessels. The Viking had been chased by Interpol for almost 13 years. They had changed the registration almost 12 times within 6 years. And they have 25 state flag convenient from Mongolia, Nigeria, China, Philippines, Indonesia. So they will just put the flag whenever, whatever they need. So, and the crew of STS-15 example is come from 10 Russian crew and 20 Indonesian. The Viking, the captain from Chile, the the engineer from Ecuador, and the seaman fishing master from Myanmar, and the seaman from Indonesia. And they load their catch in several borders, sometime in Indonesia border, sometime in Thai border, sometime in Philippines, wherever they're convenient. And they have sophisticated equipment on their boat. They have communication tracking. They have anti-radar. They have an incredible equipment that's similar to a military vessel. So, and I tried to propose this continued in UNODC and our ocean conference, which will be happening on 29th to 30th of October in Bali. So next few days, we will have our ocean conference. We would like to share all this to rise up the awareness of international community. International community have a strong interest on ocean issues now. We realize, and the world are realized more and more, the climate change will not be able to manage appropriately if we not run to also manage the ocean. The planet that we live, only 29% land, as well as like Indonesia, 71% are oceans. And I start to put the awareness that if we need the ocean to be healthy for us to continue to protect the danger of climate change, we all have to be together. One world, one ocean. The ocean is keeping up this world together. We have to start protecting the ocean. In the last 2 years, I started proposing to all international institutions to also to be considered, put into SDG 14, that ocean needs a right. Why? Because ocean is bigger than us. Ocean is bigger than the land we live. It's 71% of this planet is water, ocean. And what it is worrying us at the moment, the 71% ocean, 61% of it is the high seas, where there is no jurisdiction, where there is no control, where there is no hand to reach if anything happened bad at the high seas. So we worry of our rainforest, which is just little part of this planet. We forgot the ocean is much bigger. When the Arctic is melting the ice, the sea level rising up, Indonesia will be one of the big island states that's going to affect first. From 17,000 islands that we have, 70% of it are small islands. That will be very vulnerable with the sea level rising. And if our reef, if our ocean is depleted, the resources, from the quality out, the quality of the biomass, so the sea level rising up, the temperature of this, where the planet where we live is also rising up, everything will be bad for all of us. So I hope one day, if Juanda can make it happen, to propose the state island, Negara Kepulauan. So I hope all the students here know who is Juanda. Tahu tidak Insinyur Juanda? Without Juanda, the ocean of Indonesia is separate every single island from each other. Because those days, the EEZ of every state, coastal state, is only 3 miles. So between Kalimantan and Java, it's only 3 miles from Java coastal, 3 miles from Kalimantan. The big in the middle is in international water. But while Juanda proposing, finally in 1982, it's become approved Negara Kepulauan. So our Indonesian water is connecting all islands, become NKRI. So keep the sovereignty clear, that we have those EEZ, we have those resources until our EEZ. So there are skepticism sometimes because Indonesia is so big, the capacity on monitoring and surveillance so small. Sometimes people, yeah, you should work together with your neighbor country. So, and the fish is also migratory. Yeah, true. And the fish has no passport or KTP. True. But we have the territory which is approved by international rule and law. Within 200 nautical miles from the fish swimming there is Indonesian resources. Nobody allowed to take within that miles. If they swim out, yeah, it's somebody else. They can collect it. So there are skepticism and criticism that come into me because I'm so stubborn to protect the sovereignty of our marine resources. They say, ikan itu kan tidak punya KTP. Yeah. Should we make KTP for fish? We cannot even handle the problem of eKTP yet for us. Just to make you not feeling sleepy, so. Anyway, so. Yeah, it's clear by the rule, by the international international constitution that we all states are committed that within EEZ is a state resources, is a coastal state resources. So, but again, back to the high seas, we worry because at the moment with the way we protect our water, the shifting and the changing of modus on illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing is also much smarter now. What they do, they work with the affiliated company that in Indonesia water. The Indonesian vessel catch the fish and then they transship it 1 or 2 miles above our EEZ water. That's what I mean, that we have to start giving the oceans the rights. So when there is such a thing happen, international community can work together to address such a problem. Because right now, everybody has a free zone in high seas to do anything. From transshipping illegal fuel, transshipping illegal drugs, and many others, including unreported, unregulated fishing. And yet, we have done good, but it's also a lot of homework to do. I hope all Wisudawan today can continue the work. I try to put legacy